What if it's not about a building? What if it's not about stained glass or steeples? What if it's about just Jesus?
All right, we talked about 666 last week, and I'm not sure where we're going. I don't know that it's a part 2, but it kind of feels like it's a part 2, and I think we're kind of going down that same rabbit hole, Corey. You told me just enough for me to say, hold on, just surprise me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to know what kind of coffee this is.
We're waking the neighbors.
I think we're waking Lazarus.
I think she was in a hurry and just started dumping.
I measured, but it's waking the neighbors. I thought you might need to pick me up for later.
You
Can we put the Starbucks back on the menu?
Yeah. Yes, I will get that because we have the perfect ratio.
Yeah.
I tried to look. I was trying to see if I could see through it. No.
I saw you over there doing that, and I was like, I measured it, but I thought you needed a little extra.
I would do that regardless anytime,
Well, Savannah, sometimes your coffee, like when you pour it, you can't see through it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not just through the cup.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Just kind of watch the flow,
Everybody likes their coffee different. We just get spoiled. You made it really good for so long, and then you switched it up.
All right, back on track. I'm going to get your stuff. I've got this.
Otto, this is 2 episodes in a row that we've dived on something with your food. Or
Is it? I
your
wasn't
drinks.
even thinking. It was just, I needed to say something.
At least this isn't God's coffee. Unless it's for the podcast. Does that make it God's coffee?
It does. Little coffee and little Jesus.
I mean, it's a good hardener.
Well, I wanted you to be focused. I needed you to be able to zero in.
Woo!
Yeah. He's going to be shaking over
Hey,
there.
let's go.
All right. 666, Man of the Beast. Where we going? What we got?
Yeah. So I want to hit on, I feel like this would be good for people to hear if we just kind of go in increments. I would like to hit on, if you think you could pull up Revelation 13, 16, and 17.
All right. You mean to read the whole verse?
Yeah.
All right. Revelation 13, 16. He required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And no one could buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name.
Wait, so everybody had like the scary mark on him?
Well, yes, not everybody. The unbelievers.
The truly lost souls.
Yeah. So, and, it's up in the air for many theologians and many organizations to say whether this is in the future or has it already been. And so it's very controversial.
Now, before we dive into it, Revelation is... Now, let's bring Revelation into context. It's a dream, right?
What?
It's not a dream.
Is it a prophecy?
It's many things actually, but it's when he was exiled, John, to the island of Patmos.
Which John?
Not the Baptist,
Okay.
the disciple John.
Okay.
So he was cast on the island of Patmos to be killed by the beast, the wild animals left. At the time, there was no civilization. And in that moment, that was after Jesus had been crucified.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure, which this is very powerful. I think it's great that you ask, because I might just run out of the room. But I think he was at the end of his rope, and he thought, obviously, that it's over. This is the end of it. And Jesus had been crucified, and all of the sudden, Jesus appears to him on the island. But he has snow white hair, feet like brass, eyes like fire. And he says, John, fear not, for I am he that lives and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore.
He's like a fiery angel.
More than an angel. An angel is something that is created.
Mm.
So
So are these, and man, I'm going to get lost before we get into the depth here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that to light, that this was different than the rest of the New Testament.
So he shows up to him and actually says, basically, I'm going to tell you what to write, and you need to write this down.
With that being said, how come these aren't in red? Red letters are words of Jesus. How come these aren't in red?
That's a great question.
Some of them are, aren't they?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, some ways you read or whatever you're reading it may not make it in red.
Yeah.
So that what I just quoted should be in red because
Okay.
it's Jesus
So
speaking.
maybe I'm just looking at a different.
Mm-hmm.
Let me, because
Yeah,
this is not
'cause
my
some-
normal. So let
yeah.
me double check.
Okay, because some Bibles don't even have his words in red. And that's good for people to know too, because if you're looking at a Bible and you're, searching for the red letters and you're looking for the words of Jesus,
I thought that was just standard.
No, you can have some that don't. But now, so this one shows like Matthew 5 in red letters,
right?
but it doesn't show Revelations 13, 16, 17 in red letters. Matter of fact, Revelation 13 period was not in red letters.
You mean what we read first?
The Revelation 13, 16, 17?
Yeah, because not all of it's Jesus' words. Some of it's John's words in Revelation to Jesus. Like sometimes John says, "See, you."
Okay. So Revelation 1, it has some stuff in the red, but what we just read was not direct words of Jesus, I assume.
Right.
Okay.
Because like some of it, Jesus is telling him what to write, but then there are things that he actually is shown by Jesus also in a vision.
So this could have been maybe a vision, and that's what he's detailing that he saw.
Yes.
Okay.
And many times it'll say John said, "I saw." And so he is seeing these things while he is on the island. He is also hearing Jesus talk to him, and he says when he shows up out of nowhere, which is amazing because John was supposed to be left for dead, then the Emperor Constantine, it was changed to Emperor Constantine, which loved God and was a Christian, and he pulled John off the island and rescued him, and John lived a long life unlike any of the other 12 disciples or 11 disciples.
And that makes perfect sense. Just like this is in red letters, a lot of Paul's writings, even though it's things that come from Jesus, that he's not actually putting in the words of Jesus.
Absolutely. Yeah, but like when Paul's on the road to Damascus and he gets struck down, loses his sight, and the voice speaks to him. Why do you forsake? Why?
Now that would be in red letters, right?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I am Jesus, who you persecute. Like that was in red letters, but a lot of things that he got when we talked about him being 3 years in Arabia there in the desert, a lot of revelation he got, he kind of worded it in his own way of how God gave it to him, Many times we can get a message from God, and although we say it or do it, we don't have the exact words that God is saying, but, we try to get as close as we can.
Sorry, squirrel. I mean, but
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know what the podcast is going to be about completely, but if we just learn that, that's a successful podcast.
That was great. Yes, sir. And what I really want to talk about, did you say something?
Well, no, I had to read back a little bit before. I guess I was.
Wait, hold on. You're reading Revelation?
You're not.
Oh, you're cheating.
Well, I needed because you were saying he required. I'm like, who is he?
Well, you're supposed to ask those
Well,
things.
you guys were focusing on something. So
We turned the page. See, we lost everybody.
I was scrolling back. I'm
You
like,
went on
wait.
a rabbit, and then she started reading.
I
I
hope
needed to know.
everybody didn't do that, Sven. I'm sorry. I took us off course.
Well, I was like, who is he? Because then you guys were talking about John, talking about Jesus. I'm like, well, okay, but
Well, so let's wrap that up. Who is he? Who are we
who
talking
is
about?
he?
What are you talking about? Which
He's
part?
saying the whole thing that you just said, that he required everyone, small, great, rich, and poor, free. Who is he requiring?
This is the beast.
Well, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
think you lead with that sort of thing.
So in Matthew or Revelation 13:11, it says, "Then I saw another beast come up from out of the earth.
Yeah.
He had two horns like those of a lamb, but he spoke
Mhm.
with the voice of a dragon. He exercised all of the authority of the first beast, and then he required the earth and its people to worship the first beast." So the second one came just to push him towards the first one. And I don't want to paraphrase that too much, but
Yeah, but just to give a rundown, the beast with the horns all the way back in Daniel are representing kingdoms. Many people think that the dragon and the serpent is the same thing, Satan, from the beginning.
I just feel like if you got horns, you're just a bad deal.
I mean,
I mean, if
And-
you got horns, you're not on the right side.
but it's horns, and it's also representing coming out of the head. It's also representing authority, and so this image, this, a lot of people say robot. It's not, but it's given its power by the dragon. It's given its voice by the dragon, which is the devil, and we're just trying to break some of this down, so it sounds so complicated.
is that why when we dress up for Halloween as the devil, he's got two horns?
No, but it is just because somewhere, somehow, somebody thought that they would make him the most scariest, monstrous
He's
thing,
got a tail and everything.
with the pointy tail and with the teeth and.
I feel like all those things, we just put them together. He's
Yeah,
got the voice of a
sometimes-
dragon too, probably.
Yeah, sometimes he's walking like they got pictures with hooves, and those things are very demonic and wild spirits, untamed and especially ungodly. But we all know that the devil is not walking around with horns and those things. As a matter of fact, he was one of the most beautiful creations that God created, which is indeed why Eve, in a lot of the way, was drawn away and distracted by him in the garden. But
I feel like that could have gone either way. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been a beautiful female that could have drawn Adam, but it happened that way.
Of
But
course. Yeah.
and I want to lay this out too. I want to say that right there because it's here to insert. But Eve was the weaker vessel, and many times women get so upset to think that, oh, I'm beneath him. Well, you're not beneath the man. It's the authority level that God gave. It's not that the woman is less than the man. It's that they do different things.
I get that. I mean, I feel like when you have all the fruits, when you're at peace, when you have
Yeah.
love and joy and all of those things, I am completely fine with my husband being the head of our household.
But that is a ding, ding, ding. Bells should be going off everywhere, all over the world. Anybody that hears this, because that is a woman's place and the position of the woman that God literally created her for.
I am cool with being a passenger princess. That is A-okay with me.
But I mean, when a woman is walking in her calling as the wife, as the one that brings her goods from afar, as the Bible talks about a virtuous woman in Proverbs, and she is the help to her husband in bringing the family together and nourishment, and in a lot of ways the woman is smarter. A lot of ways the woman has the lighter, kinder touch, more nourishing, holding the family together, and the man is the head. A lot of ways he's stronger, and that's just the way it is. Like, a man is physically stronger than a woman. That's what it's talking about. That's what God's trying to say, because the man's the protector. He's the head of the house. He is the one that enforces the rules of the home and the disciplinary action. That's why he set it up that way. And when a woman truly wants to walk in that, talk about blessings galore. When she is prepping her life, doing the best she can to make ends meet, all that, but prepping her life for one day to be a wife. That's God's plan, to continue the family, to make children, to multiply, and continue the Christian race of humanity. So, can we read that verse again?
Revelation 13:16. He required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And no one could buy or sell anything without that mark, which is either the name of the beast or the number representing his name.
So we've talked about 6 being the thing that falls short of God, being the thing that's not connected to God, being the thing that doesn't have a good pureness of truth and godliness. It's everything evil. It's everything that's manipulative. It's everything that has a deception or an underlying motive. And my point is this: people think that you're coming to a futuristic time, that you're going to have this chip put in your hand and your head, and if you do that, then you're going to be marked of this beastly spirit, and you're not going to be a believer, and that's what's going to determine whether you're a believer or not. And that is just so full of inconsistency. Like, that would mean if there was a people that didn't get it, that would mean they could be believers even though they weren't. Does that make sense?
It does, but who are the people that believe that the chip is this mark of the beast?
Most of the world. Most of the religious.
Maybe I just don't fit in with that. I've heard people say things about it, but man, you offer me something that's just quick. I mean, you're not twisting my arm to believe in the devil. You're not telling me I can't believe in Jesus.
Well, that's what's great about you, because you're walking by the beat of your own drum. Most of the time, if a lot of people say do it, you're not doing it.
Well, and I think a lot of people are afraid of things they don't understand, and it's easy to cast them. That's the devil's work, or that's the devil.
Yeah, and it's not even if, like Stephen or you, Savannah, say, I don't like that idea. I mean, I'm not. It's not that. It's that people just think that's happening. That's going to happen in the future. And we got to be sure that we don't receive that mark. We got to be sure that we don't receive that chip, or that's going to be the deciding factor.
I got you. And that's what this whole podcast is about. It's not the chip. That's where we're going,
like
right?
That's the name of it.
Oh, I got you. A little late, but I got it.
That's it. And this is some of the things I really want to hit on. Like, if you want to pull it up in Deuteronomy 6 through 8. I almost said 6
I was gonna
again.
say, yeah.
Woo.
Oh.
But this is really awesome,
All right.
because this is God speaking way before Revelation was even written. This is in the Old Testament.
And this was written by Moses?
Yeah. And this is so powerful, because the very thing that is in this beastly spirit, to be holding this in your hand or marked in your hand and in your forehead, check this out.
All right. Deuteronomy 6:6. And you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I am giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you are getting up. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders.
Say that last part again, because I wooed you and I want everybody to hear. Sorry.
Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders.
So you see, God is saying, this is
Oh, Corey, can we back up one before that?
Heck yeah.
That's where he says, and you must love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength.
Absolutely.
That's what it all ties together.
That's what it all
perfect.
is. Yeah. And that's when we just tear off these layers of complexity where, you know, when you really think about the Bible and the dimensions of it, God really didn't write this thing, and I don't think he really meant to have it written and to be understood like a newspaper.
No.
I-
It's very complex.
Yeah, but people just, a lot of people change this about it or change that, and they just think everybody should be reading it. That's why Jesus says, if you have an ear to hear, if you can hear what I'm saying and you can understand. Yet the most elite leaders of Israel in that time period, he said, you can't understand what I'm clearly saying? Why don't you understand my speech? And it's just, when we tear all these layers off, it's really simple. It really boils down to, if you have Jesus, and you're believing in Jesus, you're going to have him in your forehead. He's going to be on the forefront of your mind. And because of that, he's going to be working through your hands. And he said, bind it to your hands, because your hands are representative of what you are doing. And Deuteronomy also said, whatever a man finds to do with his hand, let him do it with all of his might. Just like you read, God wants all your heart, all your soul, all your might. And when he has it, when he has filled your mind and he has filled your heart, then the things that your hands and feet do are going to show what is at the forefront of your mind. And that's why this is so powerful and important, because many people don't know that these are God's words. And one of the most important things to understand is everything that God says, everything that God does, and every pattern of God, the devil is looking to do and get as close to that as he possibly can.
See, now I'm going to push back just a hair. I'm going to back up to where you said this doesn't read like a newspaper. And I'm going to disagree with you, Corey, and we can argue about it a little bit.
Sure.
But I think both of these that we just read, Revelations and Deuteronomy, both of those read great. I may not be able to connect the pieces and bring them all together, but that alone doesn't tell me someone's going to put a chip in me and I'm going to be run by the devil. But independently, I think they're both great.
Yeah.
But someone like you, a pastor, can tie them together and bring it all together. That's where it's different. But just reading as a newspaper, absolutely, I think it's great. But where people get confused is they jump on the yoke of somebody who has opinions that aren't accurate.
Absolutely.
And that's where somebody tying pieces together that don't make sense. And they don't question it. They don't read it. They don't read the newspaper. And they're just going off what they hear. And that's where people get messed up.
Beautifully said. And that's why it's so important. And it's really sad, because not everybody that preaches is called to preach. Not everybody that's professing is possessing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Whoa. Whoa. Man. But I mean, dude, if we've got God in us, we've got the truth. We've got the Spirit. It's going, as we talked about many times, the Holy Spirit, He, a person, He will lead you and guide you in all ways of truth.
Yeah, and if somebody that's interpreting this and teaching you, if they're teaching you more fear than what you're getting out of it, I mean, shucks, who are you fearful of? Are you fearful of the government? Are you fearing every day on something that may happen in the future? Dude, we got a lot of things to worry about. That ain't one of them I'm worried about today.
Absolutely. But you know what's so funny is people will read that, and because somebody told them that it's going to be a chip in the hand or the head, people, like evil people, will probably try to set out false movements to do that sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely. And dude, it's confirmation bias. If you keep researching what you want to see, you're going to find it. You're going to find someone pushing it.
Social media, that's what it builds on. You look for that sort of stuff. Your whole page is filled with that. And fear tactics are a real thing. When you get people jumping on those bandwagons because they're afraid,
Yeah.
you get an audience.
And I've already heard preachers talk about, me and you talked about, I think I said to you that the preacher said in some country or some place in the world, they're making them right now put it in their hand in the place of the money. And that's not, you can't find that nowhere right now. The only thing you may find is somebody actually putting a chip in their hand to make it easier to buy something.
Of course.
And to
Just
put all
like,
their
I mean, we
information.
do it on a watch. We do it on our phones. We're already doing those things.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people are just crazy to think that if I do this, I am marked. If I have something, a paper, a receipt, a number of how much money I have. Oh my God, it's $6.66. Like, I'm marked. Oh, I'm doomed. It's sad. It's a sad way to think. And I get it, because a lot of people are just, they don't really know what to think. And that's why we scream, get in a Bible truth-based church where the truth is being preached, where you can understand that this is happening, not this. This is being said, but that's false.
Dude, so 100%, just backing up and reviewing, we've talked about 666. There's no numbers that can push you to worship the devil.
Exactly.
There's no mark of the beast. There's nothing the government or anybody can do to you to make you believe something that you don't believe. No one can stop you from believing in Jesus. Is that right?
That's right.
Mhm.
It's just like ChatGPT. People think that's the devil.
Yeah, and
People think right now, religiously, oh, well, I mean, there's vibrations in those words.
good Lord, get it to spell strawberry.
There-
It can't do it. I mean, it's not magic.
They're demonic in those voice waves, and that's it. That's the beast. The AI is the beast.
But are we looking for the beast all the time? Or are we always looking for that thing that may be? I say it all the time to you, Corey. Bobby Boucher's mama on The Waterboy. That's the devil, Bobby.
I think if you
Put
believe,
that clip in there. That
that's awesome.
would be funny.
But I think if you believe, we have nothing to fear.
That's it. I don't question my faith.
No.
Do you question yours? If not, then we're good. No one can make me turn my page and start worshiping something I don't, or stop worshiping
No.
God because
Guess
I don't.
what?
I won't. What?
And guess what? If you physically put a chip in your hand or your head, that still doesn't mean you're not a believer of God.
No, I hope it does something to make my life easier.
I know.
just-
I mean, you think about it. I put a chip in my dog. I don't want to lose him. I want to be able to scan and find out who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not worshiping the devil.
But and I'm just saying that is not what that's talking about.
Of course.
But at the same time, I want to point out, even if you did that, that doesn't say that you are doomed to hell and you are owned by the devil. It's just crazy. But also, there's a few verses here I've looked up, like Deuteronomy 11:18. These are so good and it's so crazy. But the most powerful thing to me is that God's already said this. You know, and even in many religions that believe a certain way, have their own Bibles. Guess what? There is a word of God before theirs. And that should tell somebody something alone. But anyways,
Yeah, Deuteronomy 11:18. So commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these words of mine. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. That seems pretty clear all the time.
yeah. And Paul talks about doing something with all of your might, like Deuteronomy said, but that he wouldn't be found as someone punching in the wind. which means wasting time, just idle time, which is exactly what a person without God is doing. You're wasting time. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter how many times that you have studied these things in the Bible because you've heard somebody say it. There's literal atheists that are searching these things out just because somebody said it. They have no desire to be a follower of God. But it doesn't matter how intellectual you think you are. When you have to strip down the layers, the complexity, and find, as we've said many times, the simplicity in Christ. It is literally what is in your mind and what you are thinking on. If you have God, you will think on those things of God. What is true? What is good? What is peaceful? What is lovely, as Paul said, and place your affection. Everything you do, your thoughts, everything that's running out of you, place those things. Place your thoughts on things above and not on things of the earth. And whatever you're thinking on, your body, your hands will begin, and your feet and your eyes and your ears and your mouth and your heart will begin to put those things in action. And there ain't a number in the world, there ain't a beast in the world that can stop you, because the Bible says, if God be for you, who can be against you? Be blessed.